Hello. Let's start the webinar. I'm very happy to introduce this new initiative. It's actually started by Smart Energy Network, where I'm now the host today from Norwegian Offshore Wind. My name is Narve Hansen. I've been working a little bit together with Smart Energy Network to start this alliance that we're going to talk about today. And I'm very happy to have with me Schønning and Roselyn from Wazoku. So please introduce yourselves before I go into the presentation. And you guys are going to present a really awesome presentation later today. So I'm looking forward to hear everything that you guys will present about your best practice and about Wazoku. So Schønning, could you please say a little bit about yourself before we start?
Hey, Narve. Yeah, it's good to be here today. So my name is Schønning Eysturoy. I'm the Director of Customer Accounts at Wazoku. I've been working in the field of open innovation and crowdsourcing for 9 years now. I have a lot of experience working with companies in the energy sector, so I'm very excited to be part of this network.
Thank you, Schønning. And we also have lovely Roselyn.
Hi, Narve. Hi, everyone, and really nice to be here today, so thanks for having us. My name is Roselyn Uleh, and I'm an innovation consultant at Wazoku. I've been working super close with Narve for the last few months, but also working really closely with a lot of our clients at Wazoku to support them in driving value in their programs, whether that's open innovation or internal innovation, and supporting them on their journey to scale and create value within their innovation process as well. So working very closely with Narve over the last few months has been great, and I'm really keen to start this conversation today about building a culture of innovation and what that looks like as well.
Thank you so much, Roselyn, and I'm happy that you're so patient with people like me, so that you actually make this happen. And I am so happy to initiate this event as well. My background is basically I've been working within marketing and innovation for way too many years. And the last couple of years I've been working for Antler, for example, with venture capital, helping founders to build startups together with industry partners, and then going from there into a Norwegian Offshore Wind, which is where I'm working right now, with the now Accelerator program, where we have a lot of really strong industry players within offshore wind, and we're now working with Wazoku to challenge startups and scale-ups to be participating into that. So that's part of the whole setup here, but I'm going to start presenting part of the reason why we wanted to initiate this. So let me show my slides first before I hand it over to Roselyn and my friend from Faroe Island. Okay, so let's go. Welcome to, we have called it, this is work in progress, the name, but we call it Energy Innovation Initiative. It's established by Smart Energy Network together with now Accelerator, Smart Energy, and Wazoku. So the agenda we're going to go through today is going to be a short introduction I'm going to do now about the Energy Innovation Initiative. Then both companies are going to talk a little bit about each company, and we're going to end up with innovation culture and best practice from Roselyn and Schønning. So that's the plan for today. At the end, we will most likely also have time for any questions if somebody have questions. Either way, we're going to record this, so you can also see this presentation later if you want to share it with any co-workers. So as you all know, today's challenge is, especially within the green energy transition. And we've seen this many times before. I've been working close to 30 years within fintech, finance, and banking sector, where there's been the same, problems. Media sector has been going through this, and we see this repeating itself. one of the key areas now we see is obviously the new regulations. A lot of the existing business, they need to change. They need to look at how they can become planet positive and follow the new rules that makes a big change in their company. That opens up also for new markets. The value chain is changing, and there's a lot of new tech companies building now on, for example, new technology like AI. That changes the whole supply chain, the value chain, and makes it difficult for a lot of companies to evaluate how to take the next steps, how to do the how to make a good strategy for all of those elements. And this is one of the reasons why we have these networks working together to look at all these issues and try to discuss it internally. And that leaves it also very open to looking at open innovation possibilities. So the great energy transition, and this is what we think, is that it must be solved through open innovation and collaboration. If we don't do that, we will not be able to solve it ourselves. We need to go together, and we need to look at how we can focus on key problems and collaborating, and looking at also how we can invite these really good startups and innovative scale-ups in the market together with us. And that is part of the initiative. So Smart Energy Network, which is the one that was initiating this, is led by Ragnvald Nærø, which is the co-founder and CEO, and Bjarne Hareide, that is co-founder, and he's also a board member. And their most important focus is powering the green future together. It's been like that from 2016 when they established the company, and they have run successfully a really strong network called Smart Energy Network, with around 50 very strong players in Norway and now also in the Nordics. So they were the one that established this and went forward to me to see how we could do this together. So we are now formed this alliance that we are also looking at how we can open up for others. So we are actually inviting other companies as well to participate in this initiative. But as of today, it's a now Accelerator, which is a global offshore wind accelerator program, together with Smart Energy, a Nordic energy member network, and Wazoku with an open innovation platform, which you will hear a lot more about later today. So the initiative is really focusing on inviting innovation leaders, VCs, and business development leaders. They are the core segment that we want to reach to participate in this network. So it's very important to say, and we need those that have, the main focus on looking at the big picture, thinking of open innovation, not just doing everything themselves. So that type of attitude is super important as well into this network. The innovation leaders are invited from the alliance partners. So meaning we're starting off going from, for example, Norwegian Offshore Wind, we have 11 strong industry partners. So we're going to invite them in to participate. And that is, companies like Ørsted, Equinor, Fred Olsen, Vattenfall, those type of companies. What we're doing then is we're sending them an invitation. We're inviting, their innovation leaders, their VC connections, and BD personnel to see if they want to participate into this open innovation network. And the same thing happens with Smart Energy Network. They're going to invite the people, the right people within their network to join this. And the same thing for Wazoku with their really strong customers within the energy sector. And then how? Okay, so just going to go a little bit into the process of how we can collaborate and how this is going to function. But I'm also going to talk a little about later on how Norwegian Offshore Wind and now Accelerator function. But this is more about the initiative. So so you have some some process slides here. The two first ones, the local alliance partners, they have their own setup. They usually have network meetings, or they have events together, focusing on different topics, inviting presentations, presenting different areas and so on. But the key area here is to define problem statements that they want to focus on and take it into working groups. That could be done locally, but they can also decide to take this into this initiative, meaning that it becomes not just a local focus, it will become an international focus into this network. So them taking then that problem statement into the International Network Energy Innovation Initiative, we will together look at potential selection process of what kind of companies can actually have a possibility of solving this, discussing what kind of companies can work together on this, and then look at potential challenges that we can use, Wazoku as a platform to challenge these really interesting founders that they have in Wazoku Crowd, or together with the startups that we have selected as potential companies to be part of this. And then we will end up with a lot of interesting use cases, best practice, and a lot of information we can take back to our local or to our own company, which is the main purpose. And obviously, each company that's participating in this, how they want to use this information, how they want to bring it forward into their own companies, all up to them. But this is just to create, a good insight, helping each company to see how we can together make a change. And the activities is going to be both online and in-person meetings. So we're going to invite them, and it's going to be very interesting, because we're not just going to be doing this in Norway. We're going to do it in UK, where Wazoku is placed. We're going to go to Spain. We're going to go to Italy. We're going to go to different locations where the hosts are going to be. As of today, we're actually planning a potential really interesting place in the Faroe Islands.
I was just going to say, Narve, you forgot the important country.
Where Schønning is coming from, where there's going to be a big event in May, which I'm hoping we can set it up. So those are the kind of locations we're going to, where there's going to be around 20 leaders that's going to meet, that's going to discuss these selected innovation topics. And we're going to meet also potential startups that could be able to solve this, and taking this forward together in that type of setting. There's going to be also opportunity to challenge startups and scale-ups through the platform with Wazoku. So that's another thing that we will also talk about a little bit more in this presentation. So the main goal here is basically to share best practice, improve collaboration and innovation between these companies, connecting with peers to initiate collaboration activities between global energy companies, and then also collectively select the top really interesting startups and scale-ups that can actually move this forward. Over to Norwegian Offshore Wind. Okay, I'm going to talk very briefly about that. I'm not going to be very long like I normally am, Schønning and Roselyn, so don't worry. First of all, Norwegian Offshore Wind is a big cluster within offshore wind sector. It's focusing on offshore wind. It's not just in Norway. It's a lot of members all over the world. There's almost 400 members now, and many of these are the big industry players, but you also have smaller startups and other companies within the supply chain. In the middle here is the Met Center, which is the test center, which was established with Norwegian Offshore Wind. Well, first it was Met Center, and then Offshore Wind came out of that actually. And Met Center has today 2 floating windmills, which are in a very good testing environment. And there's going to be 5 more coming up that they're also going to operate. So that's a part of the whole setup here for Norwegian Offshore Wind. So it's the cluster, which I mentioned now with 400 members, they have the Met Center, and then they established now Accelerator, where I'm the manager, initiated. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. And then we have big events like Floating Wind Days, which is end of May 29th and 30th of May in Haugesund, west coast of Norway, where we invite the whole global environment. There's going to be more than 1,000 people attending this year. So it's going to be a big event for floating offshore wind. And then we have Visit Now, which is also a setup connecting to 15 countries, actually other clusters focusing on offshore wind that we are connected to, which is also going to be part of the connections we have for this initiative. We're going to invite in alliances from the different countries that we already are connected to. So we're not starting on scratch here. When it comes to now Accelerated, it aims to create the best innovation test center for startups and scale-ups, because we already have the Met Center, we already have the possibility of running test opportunities. That's is like the perfect match for this this Accelerated program. So we already have 11 industry partners. You can see all the logos here. They're all huge companies within energy and especially offshore wind. They're in consortiums. They usually work together, and we are pushing them to come up with really strong problem statements that they can challenge the startups and scale-ups. So we put those challenges into the open innovation platform that you're going to hear about now with Wazoku, and then we're going to end up with startups and scale-ups that actually manage to solve or have started the journey to solve the problem, and they will be able to get the opportunity to work closer with these industry partners. They will be promoted and they will be visualized in the big events like Floating Wind Days, and they will have a lot of potential opportunities, business opportunities within this network. So that's basically it. Apart from, we just started now the challenges, and the first challenge is going to be in March, 14th of March, actually, in Mandal. We're going to run it at Slushed, which is a big event there, together with O Energy and Choreo. So I'm super happy to see that coming. But after that, we're going to have monthly new, really interesting challenges. Actually, in June, we're going to launch 2 more challenges. So there's going to be around 10 challenges that we're going to go through this year, which is going to be quite exciting. And that's going to be done on the platform with Wazoku. So with that said, I would love to give over the presentation to Schønning and Roselyn. I don't know which of you are going to start, but I'm leaving the word to you, and thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Narve. Okay, so in terms of the session today, as Narve mentioned, we're going to be giving you a little bit of insight into who we are, what we do, and how we support our clients operating in the smart energy space. As part of that, I will be diving into the importance of building a really strong and robust innovation culture to drive value, as well as some of our open innovation capabilities, and Schønning will introduce us to that later on in the presentation. One of our core beliefs at Wazoku is that innovation and creativity is a muscle that everyone can train, and ultimately it's a skill that everyone can develop over time by using the right tools and the right techniques. Our CEO, Simon Hill, founded Wazoku with the firm belief that everyone is an innovator, and our services have been designed with this in mind. Fundamentally, at Wazoku, we provide an innovation management software, an open innovation marketplace called Wazoku Crowd, and innovation consulting services. And we work with some of the world's largest organizations to innovate at scale, whether that is making the most of employees' ideas internally within organizations, identifying new partners to collaborate with, or exploring the vast potential of open innovation. We ultimately just want to make innovation happen. We know that problems can be solved in a much better and a much smarter way by involving crowds of people. There are so many brilliant minds near and far with great ideas. And this is evident simply just by looking at what's going on in the smart energy ecosystem and a lot of the people and the players that are involved in that. And so we really believe that by deploying and developing the right tools, the right processes, and the right partnerships to really capture that collective intelligence, organizations and industries will become much more agile and much more innovative. So ultimately, our mission is to change the world one idea at a time. Many organizations that we regularly speak to have aims, goals, and objectives to really build a culture of innovation. But what does that really mean? And how can we build this in the smart energy ecosystem so that we can all derive value? So let's dive deeper into this together during the next part of this session, and let's take a look at some of the barriers to innovation. So research consistently shows us that some of the biggest barriers to innovation are indeed cultural. A recent study conducted by InnoLead in partnership with KPMG surveyed innovation, strategy, and research and development executives and found that politics, turf wars, and a lack of alignment and cultural issues were cited as the most consistent and significant barriers to innovation across those surveys. Taking a closer look at these factors, and you can see them all on screen at the moment, it's really clear that a lot of them are influenced by cultural dynamics within an organization, highlighting the importance and the important role that organizational culture plays in inhibiting or encouraging innovation, depending on which way you decide to look at it. Innovation culture is such a key component of organizational culture, which encompasses, as we all know, shared values, beliefs, norms, attitudes and behaviors within an organization. It shapes how individuals interact with one another, how they collaborate, how they approach their work, and how individuals collectively contribute to the organization's overall mission, vision, and success. And this is the same for the ecosystem. The culture is really, really important. So when we talk about building a culture of innovation, this is about building an environment where innovation is not just encouraged, but becomes ingrained in the ecosystem's DNA. It's about fostering a mindset where individuals and every individual in the ecosystem feel empowered to contribute their ideas, their solutions to challenges faced collectively across the board and within the smart energy ecosystem. That's the North Star. So when we talk about building that culture of innovation, what does that really look like? There needs to be a key focus on creating an environment that really values curiosity, it values creativity, and it values collaboration, but it also recognizes that innovation can come from anyone and anywhere within the ecosystem. Schønning will be taking us through that a little bit later about the vast potential of open innovation and scouting. But this is also about acknowledging that the next groundbreaking idea could originate from unexpected sources, whether it's a seasoned expert in the field or a newcomer to the field. There's that openness and transparency around that. So we need to be thinking about how do we cultivate a culture that not only welcomes but actively seeks out diverse perspectives and unconventional ways of thinking to drive innovation forward within the sector. Building a culture of innovation also involves establishing processes, systems, and structures that support solution and idea generation, experimentation, and implementation. Because how can we truly foster creativity and drive progress without the infrastructure to really nurture and sustain that across the board? But in addition to that, building a culture of innovation goes beyond just generating ideas, and we all know that. It's about creating a supportive ecosystem where those ideas can be nurtured, they can be refined, and they can be brought into fruition. And so in the context of our ecosystem, we need to be thinking about creating an ecosystem that not only sparks that creativity that leads to those groundbreaking ideas, but also provides the resources, the guidance and support, and the collaborative networks that are necessary to transform those ideas into really impactful solutions that can be applied to the industry. Now, we support our clients in all of these areas, and I wanted to share some of these strategies and the strategies that we work with and some real examples of how we're partnering with our clients to achieve this. And it all starts with our methodology. So everything that we do at Wazoku is underpinned by our challenge-driven innovation methodology. Challenge-driven innovation methodology is the method for really bringing together the right people to solve the right problems, important problems, and to exploit the opportunities that are available to us. Fundamentally, the method works by formulating problems and needs into really portable units of work called challenges, and then exposes them out to new audiences whilst building methodology, building process, and tools which will enable repeatable and scalable value creation and innovation. Now, looking at this methodology through the lens of, the smart energy ecosystem, applying a really clear process can support in aligning diverse stakeholders towards that common goal that we all have, with an aim to really facilitate that collaboration that's necessary to build that culture across organizational boundaries and streamlining our innovation processes within the ecosystem. From our experience of working with a range of organizations over the years, we've seen that by leveraging challenge-driven innovation methodology, stakeholders can effectively address the complex challenges, but they can also capitalize on the emerging opportunities that come up within the ecosystem. And this is achieved in this 4-stage process within these 4 distinct stages that are on screen at the moment. In the discovery stage, CDI prompts organizations to really actively identify important challenges and opportunities, which fosters a culture of proactive problem solving, but also collaboration amongst a diverse set of stakeholders. And it supports in ensuring teams are uncovering the right opportunities. When we look at the define stage, which is stage number 2, this is really about supporting organizations and individuals to articulate challenges clearly, involving the key decision makers to really ensure that there's alignment, but also accountability, which is a very key part, and establishing a structured framework for innovation efforts. And this is all part of agreeing on the right problem to solve, which will be really important as part of the ecosystem. The develop stage is where we look for solutions to those problems. So leveraging diverse perspectives to generate solutions quickly, promoting a culture of agility, learning, experimentation, but also continuous improvement. I always say that this methodology is very much an agile methodology. And then finally, within the discover stage, which is our final stage, is all about facilitating effective evaluation, implementation of solutions, but also promoting that evidence-based decision-making, accountability, yet again, and a culture of adaptability and innovation as our core values. And as you can see, we're then taking solutions, ideas, but also challenges through a really robust process that can be applied to many different opportunities and problems. In addition to having the right method for bringing together the right people to solve the right problems and to exploit the right opportunities, it's really important for us to have a dedicated innovation platform that really serves as the nerve center of building a culture of innovation and in facilitating idea generation, collaboration, and the implementation of these solutions as they're coming through. As Narve touched upon earlier on, now in Wazoku, we have partnered to launch Now's Accelerator community platform, where startups, SMEs, and industry partners can all come together and collaborate to develop the offshore wind sector in a really easy and seamless way. Having a platform to share industry-specific challenges either internally within your organizations or externally to a wider crowd of solvers, and then inviting solvers comprised of employees or the wider ecosystem to share ideas, to collaborate on projects, but also to contribute in the innovation process is really, really valuable. And this speaks directly to one of the key and important aspects that I highlighted earlier around creating an environment that values curiosity, values creativity, but also values that collaboration. Another key part to the culture discussion and having an innovation tool is having the ability to really streamline that innovation process by providing structured workflows, automated evaluation criteria, and really transparent decision-making capabilities and mechanisms. And this is really key in building the innovation culture piece because it reduces the frictions that might come about, it increases efficiencies, and it fosters the accountability piece, which I have talked about 3 times now, showing that it's a really important aspect, enabling organizations to focus on generating and implementing impactful ideas. And having a platform that makes this seamless has been really, really beneficial for our clients as well, and such a key part of building that culture. But also key is that the platform is also used by many of our clients as a tool that supports the creation of an ecosystem within the communities that they're forging, either internally or externally, and facilitating that continuous idea development that is so key to the success and the value that they get from their initiatives. It's so great to see how many organizations have leveraged the platform to develop, to incubate, to continuously improve, and to scale innovative initiatives in various industries. But I wanted to share an example of how we've been working with clients, particularly in the smart energy space, to really realize value. One example comes from one of our clients, Alliander, which is a network company responsible for the distribution of energy, such as electricity, biogas, and heat. They have been using the Wazoku platform to collect ideas inside of their organization from their engineers on how they can operate more efficiently, effectively as an organization. Before this challenge and before they initiated this challenge on our platform, engineers were required to turn gas off from homes without charging the customer anything for that. However, with the advent of the smart meter, it made this activity a lot more difficult, and it was a very time-consuming, burdensome process, as 2 engineers were often required to go and dig up the road to kind of turn off all of the gas from people's homes. An engineer found that it was possible to utilize a balloon to navigate around the smart meter, which would prevent the need to dig up a road. And this idea, and a similar idea as well, saved 30 million euros over 5 years for Alliander and for the client. Now, I love this example because I think it just highlights that when you create an environment that values that curiosity, that creativity, and that collaboration, and understands that innovation can come from anyone, anywhere within a company or within a community, it can be really financially beneficial for the organization, and you can really bring in different stakeholders into that innovation process successfully as well. But there are many other strategies that we work with around building an innovation culture. And, I think it's key to note that there are strategies that you can work on together depending on where you are. But I just wanted to share 3 more strategies that have worked quite well. The first is that many of our clients have designed what they call innovation weeks, which is all about dedicating a specific week for innovation that sends a really clear signal to everyone involved that creativity and forward thinking are valued within an organization or within an ecosystem. Within this innovation week, they can use the platform to showcase successful innovation stories, share best practices, but also to inspire others to think outside of the box when it comes to solutions. It has provided companies with cross-company collaboration opportunities and encourages stakeholders to collaborate on innovative projects or on ideas together. We've also seen instances in which these weeks have allowed for experimentation in a really structured environment and where individuals or teams can test out new ideas. The next piece is around cross-sector challenges, and Narve, you introduced us to that so well earlier. But cross-sector challenges are really great, and I think could be a really key aspect within the ecosystem to really encourage diverse perspectives, to approach problem solving and facilitate the exchange of ideas across the sector in a really, really nice way. And then finally, and again, I'm plugging some of the events that you were talking about earlier, Narve, with events. Events are a great way to cultivate that sense of belonging, that sense of community, especially among innovators within this smart energy ecosystem. And our clients love it, and it's always a great way to really drive that culture of collaboration as well. But that's it from me, and I'm going to head over and pass the mic over, or the virtual mic over to Schønning.
Fantastic. Thank you, Roselyn. Narve, you mentioned earlier that the great energy transition must be solved through open innovation and collaboration. And this is exactly what we specialize in. So our unique open innovation and scouting as a service draws on the power of challenge-driven innovation, which Roselyn just spoke about, but is augmented by our crowd, data, and machine intelligence to ensure that we match the right technologies, startups, and solutions to help our clients solve their challenges. So I'll talk a little bit about Wazoku data and Wazoku crowd now. So the Wazoku crowd is one of the world's largest open innovation crowds. So it consists of about 700,000 solvers, startups, scale-ups, academics and research institutions, inventors and technology holders and scouts from about 200 countries. And it's a growing crowd. About 1,000 people join every month. Our partnership with Smart Energy Network will give the alliance partners access to this network to solve problems. Now, when our clients have a problem to solve, we then put that problem in front of all the solvers, and then we present back the best of the best in these 200 countries where these solvers are found. Over the last 20 years or so, I think perhaps 23 years now, we have solved about 2,500 challenges and awarded about $60 million in awards to these successful solvers who have helped unlock billions in commercial value to our clients, such as Enel. Enel, they're running their open innovability program, is pretty well known in the energy sector. And throughout this partnership with Enel, they have initiated 800 collaborations, and about 300 of those are startups and scale-ups that they've started working with. Now, the Wazoku crowd doesn't operate in isolation. It's combined with our vast data set and our proven process that matches challenges with the correct person, technology, or company to solve them. So Wazoku data is the dynamic picture of all these sources that we have access to from all these different tools that you can see here on the screen, plus all the challenges and the solutions that we have in our database. So historically, as I mentioned, we run about 2,500 challenges. So this gives us access to an incredible amount of solutions, which we have the ability to query utilizing machine learning and AI. To help our clients solve problems. So we also scrape the web and proprietary data, historic challenges, and our solution database to find the right solutions to make energy smarter. Yeah. Now, when we run these scouting challenges and open innovation challenges, our staff, they have many years experience in doing so. So they are at hand through every step of this process to help our clients narrow down, that set of you might get hundreds of solutions initially, and then you narrow it down, right, until gradually you have the right solutions that you want to take forward in the process. So we're with our clients every step on that journey. To give some examples, I mentioned Enel earlier, but another big client is A2A. It's one of the largest utility companies in Italy, and they committed to installing 1,000 new substations by 2030 as part of their sustainability agenda. But oftentimes there's a lack of space, especially in big cities, to build new substations. And they were looking for a new design to install these to reach their 2030 goals. They did approach their suppliers. They also approached their employees to see if someone had an idea or if someone had a design that they could use when deploying new substations. But there was little interest. They didn't really find a solution. So they came to us and said, hey, can you guys try to help solve this challenge? So we took that problem statement to our crowd, and we had this challenge open on our platform, exposed to these 700,000 solvers, and then we tapped into our data and so on to try to see, was there a solution to this problem? In 4 weeks, 75 people in our crowd, they had joined the challenge, and we identified 12 potential designs that were relevant to A2A. The winner of this challenge was a Turkish freelancer. He was paid $25,000 for this solution or the new design for a substation, and his design now forms part of A2A's strategy to build new compact substations. Yeah? And this is a $2 billion investment plan, right? So this is an Italian company that found a freelancer in Turkey that is now part of that investment plan. Right? So oftentimes you find the solutions in some strange corners across the globe. Roselyn, you mentioned cross-sector challenges. That's something we're doing with Norwegian offshore wind. The first challenge is soon going live, but we've been doing this for a number of years in different sectors. And one of them was in DER or distributed energy resources. We ran a challenge focused on unlocking the potential of clean behind the meter energy devices. Yeah, so finding solutions that we could then take to our clients to help them in this area. Just to talk about one of the very interesting solutions or startups that came through. This is a French startup called Zeroth. And they presented a packaged energy system for buildings. And basically these integrated heat pumps that combine heat pumps, electrical and thermal storage. And in test, the solution here has reduced the load reduction by 50%, right? So it's one of the startups in our network, and we have many startups like this in our database. Here's a bit more information about it. But what we want to do is take that database of startups from all these challenges that we've been running to our clients, right? We have hundreds that could help you on your journey to make energy smarter. And throughout the events here in Narve that we have talked about, hopefully one of them will be on the Faroe Islands. We hope that we can connect some of the startups in our database to the alliance partners.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, both of you, Roselyn and Schønning. This is a great presentation. I think, the main idea for today was to introduce, this alliance and the companies. And I think you guys touched upon the key elements here, which is having a platform that, all these initiatives can be driven through together in open innovation or their own internal innovation setup, like you have mentioned here. So it's super interesting to hear the different use cases you were showing here. And I think this is why we need also to sit down together, opening a little bit more up and talking about both good and bad experiences within innovation culture, and keep driving that in order to evolve, and especially on those big problems. And that's why offshore wind, where I'm at right now, it's still such an early phase. There's so many big problems to be solved, but huge potential. And we all know that the energy the energy sector needs to produce more energy. I mean, it's just it's a big problem. So having the opportunity to really make some changes there and improve the value proposition for those kind of solutions that are green and interesting for the planet, there's no better case than that. But that's why open innovation is so important, because it's such an early stage and they're so big. There's no single companies can actually be able to handle that themselves. So by opening up, and especially you guys that are actually sitting in the middle together with all these really interesting companies, you get a lot of good insights and understanding. And I think by facilitating and participating in this is going to be a huge plus for the whole network. So I think this is going to be a good start. We're going to, this is recorded, so we're going to share the video to those that didn't have the possibility of participating. And I don't know if you have any last words, but I do think we should be able to get up the first real physical meeting. If not in Faroe Island, it's going to be at least in coming months, very soon. So I'm organizing it together with the industry partners of Norwegian Offshore Wind, or now Accelerator, and coordinating together with the members and the founders of Smart Energy Network. So there's a lot of interesting companies there that I'm sure will participate in these gatherings. And as I said, it will be a smaller crowd. It will be most likely around 20-25 people maybe. And I'm sure it's going to be a lot of interesting topics we will be discussing and looking at the possibility of taking to the next steps together with Wazoku and your customers. So
absolutely.
Is
Super
there any
exciting.
other points you guys want to mention before we leave off? I will send the details also when we send out the video, so that they will get your contact information. Yeah, we'll come up with a very clear activity agenda very soon. So please contact us if there's anybody that wants to hear more, and we would love to follow up with meetings. But
Yeah,
thanks
and I
again.
think, Narve,
Yeah, sure.
I think
Go ahead.
Just for the alliance partners that are here today as well, if someone has an idea for a challenge that we could solve together or launch to the Wazoku crowd, please let us know. Just like that challenge on DER, is there a similar one that we could run? So ahead of our upcoming meetings, hopefully we can then bring some startups to you as well. So any topics of interest, just let us know.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for mentioning that, Schønning. Any last word, Roselyn?
I'm just really excited and really looking forward to what comes out of this. And as Schønning mentioned, I think we're really keen to support with any challenges and just hear about some of the opportunities, but also the problems as well that maybe some of you are facing. And I think there's a great opportunity for collaboration here. So looking forward to contributing where we can.
Perfect. Thank you both so much again for a great presentation, and have a wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you, Narve.
Thank you.
Cheers, and
Thank
thanks
you,
all.
guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.